G'day Tiger fans and welcome to Talking Tigers, Richmond's live weekly podcast. Well, it's been a tough 36 hours since the heartbreak of Sunday afternoon via the Freo Dockers. As the great Sir Bob Geldof used to say, Greeners, I don't like Mondays, or as Tiger fans are now saying, I don't like Monday. Some crisp stuff there, Greeners, very crisp.
Very.
He's got us twice now. He is an ice cool man in front of the goals, David Mundy. But we must push on, and we will. And today on TT, Brett Deledio, TT's former Brett Deledio, he's got a big problem with Tony Greenberg that I'm going to address. We're going to talk goals after the siren. The Chief is back, of course. So is the spirit of 1967. We had a great function here last Friday, plus all your other regular segments. Tone and JB. Oh boy, how are we?
No, it's fair to say we're not great.
Not flying.
Haven't really slept a wink since. Been playing the game over and over in my head.
I think we just need to have some fun and frivolity today to feel good.
We'll try.
Because look, at the end of the day, we have to look at it this way: that we're 5-4 after a third of the way through the season. Sorry, 5-3. Goodness me!
Don't
sorry, please. Oh no, I don't want to be 5-3.
Yeah,
and we're in 7th spot on the ladder.
We are exactly. You would have probably taken that at the study. That song, that was your choice today, JB.
Yeah, it was a very good song. One of my favourites, but not the scenario I'd like to use it in, unfortunately. And of course, it's in relation to David Mundy. And when the ball was floating through the air on Sunday afternoon, I could just see him leading and.
What were you saying? Oh no, not you again?
I think I was saying probably worse than that, to be honest. But there's a flat feeling.
That's Australian Crawl, by the way.
Australian Crawl,
James
great Australian band.
Yeah.
But very disappointing. But as you said, we must push on.
You have to. And if you want to get involved today on Twitter, hashtag Talking Tigers, or you can email during the week talkingtigersRichmondFC.com.au. But when he was lining up, Tone, you knew he was going to kick it.
Yeah, but if I see one more so-called expert, trying to dissect the last 21 seconds, I think I'll spew up. Mm-hmm. And now I know how Sydney supporters felt. 12 months to the day, if you can believe that when Sam Lloyd did it. And then you just go through over and over again what should have happened, what didn't happen.
Who would you pick to have a shot at goal after the siren?
If you might wait till later. I've actually got my top 10 Tigers who I would pick to do that.
Let's just go generally. I actually think I would nearly take David Mundy.
Would you?
He just looks so relaxed and composed. He never was going to miss it.
Might take Tory Dixon.
Would you? Tory Dixon,
Pretty good
kick. Eddie Betts right now. I reckon doesn't miss too many.
He doesn't miss set shots.
Probably around 2013, 2014, Jack Gunston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, that's a fair point.
But Mundy's got the runs on the board.
Yeah, and you know who was pretty flat with that too? David Mundy's sister is a mad Richmond supporter.
No, tell me.
It's true.
Twice.
Mad Richmond supporter, so it's happened twice to her.
Is that fair dinkum?
Yeah, it's fair dinkum, all right. It's absolutely fair dinkum. But anyway.
I could not believe it. Anyway, we have to move on, don't we?
Well, we do have to move on. We do, because big game obviously coming up. And look, as I say, 5-3 after 8 rounds to be 7th on the ladder. The thing is when you win your first 5 and then you drop 3. But if we'd sort of gone win-loss through and you were 5-3, I don't think people would be saying that much
You've
about
got
it.
to take
Probably not.
Positives out of that last quarter. It was a pretty good effort to get back in front.
Quarter. It was an enormous last quarter.
I would have rather not get back in front, though.
Well, I heard Chris Scott last night talking about it on Classified.
Yeah.
And he said, because Gary Lyon's got this theory that it doesn't really matter if you come from a fair way back because you got nothing to lose and it doesn't really show. But Chris Scott disagreed because he said it's easy. It would be easy to absolutely pack it in when you're down. And because Geelong fought back 2 in the last quarter, and they got within a couple of goals. But we hit the front, obviously, as no Richmond supporter needs reminding. So that's a big effort. That's a big quarter of footy.
Yeah.
Which just shows that what we're capable of.
There was some good individual efforts in that last quarter, wasn't there?
Certainly were.
Dusty was pretty good. Rioli's goal that's got it moving.
Nan Curvis's effort in the ruck. Grigor. I mean, they were really worried about Grigor. They just said we got to stop him. He just kept getting the ball.
He's playing good footy, isn't he?
He's playing really good footy. And Shane Edwards' last quarter, and he was a bit rusty, obviously coming back after 5 weeks out, but he had 10 touches in the last quarter and was really instrumental too. So,
And not wanting to go too far back, but if you do think to when Mundy kicked the goal in 2015, we came out the week after against the 2-time reigning premiers, who then went on to win the premiership that year, and we had one of our best performances over the last couple of years.
That's true.
And we just go to GWS and have a crack. So you never know.
And it looks like it might be a wet one up there, Tony.
Well, I've been looking at the forecast all week, and they're saying a bit of rain Friday and rain on Saturday.
So you know what that means. Jack Grewald.
Yeah, and
He loves wet weather.
And the big Nanka likes the wet too.
That's going to be a good duel, isn't it?
That'd be
Nanka
a
v
ripper.
Mummy. We'll get into that a bit later on. Hey, I want to give a quick plug to a night that's happening at Crown tomorrow night. The Tasmanian Football Foundation that's just been launched that I've got involved with. Got a big night at Crown tomorrow night, and there's going to be plenty of Taswegians floating around the Palladium at Crown Casino.
Tasmaniacs, yeah.
Tassie footy's been good to this club, if you have a look at it.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Jack Revolt.
I'm very familiar with...
Royce Hart.
Yeah.
Michael Disco Roach.
So Royce, Richo, Rewalt.
And Roach.
The four R's.
A lot of goals there, isn't there?
A lot of goals and a lot of R's.
Yeah. And then you've got Big Nank now.
Big Nank, yeah.
The chief, Brendan Gale.
And Michael Gale.
Yeah, Butchie Gale, Chris Bond.
Trent Nichols.
Benny Harrison played 80 games.
Grant Orford.
Justin Platt.
Relative's daughter was here the other week, Grant Orford. Yeah, there's been a few.
Yeah, there has.
Mark McQueen.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Yeah. Give us another couple.
Paul Sproul was a pretty handy player. A bloke
Alex
by the name of
Gilmore.
Ian Stewart could play a bit too.
Alex Gilmore.
Remember
Alex Gilmore?
Yes, I do remember Alex Gilmore. Yeah.
Anyway. So, if anyone
you're going?
Wants to be a late call-up, get down to Crown Play. I'm going, yeah.
Hosting?
I'm on a table, and Jack's going to be there. Nank.
Oh,
Benny Gale will be there, the chief.
Of course he'll be there.
The chieftain's got a table, so you should come along, Tone.
Well, I've just got to check my diary. Now, pretty full up at the moment.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Now, one of the funniest things I have seen in a long time occurred post a game Saturday night that you were covering, the Essendon-Geelong, the country game, and you interviewed young James Stewart, former GWS, who had quite an impact for Essendon, and at the end of the interview, it was quite amusing.
I feel like you're on the verge of something pretty special here at Bomberland, and well deserving. Congratulations.
No, thanks, Moons. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate it.
Well, James, thank you, mate, and well played to James Stewart. You just called me Cameron Mooney. Yeah.
I didn't want to correct you, Big Moons, but we're going to go to what are we doing now, Moons?
Now, how flat was Luke Darcy to be called
Mate,
Moons, Cameron Mooney? How flat was he?
He was genuinely very flat because, don't worry, Darcy rates himself pretty highly. He would have thought James Stewart would know who he is, that's for sure. In fact, he would think that Stewart idolises him. So to be called Cam Mooney, he was pretty flat. Nothing against Cam Mooney.
Well, to go the other way, I saw Moons on Sunday morning before the game, our game, and he had a spring in his step because he'd been recognised on another channel.
Yeah.
So obviously Channel 7 will be pulling out all stops from now on, and
well, they're going to have to rebrand Darcy. They're going to have to reintroduce him.
He'll be on Home and Away probably. You know, all the shows that they've got.
That was one of the I couldn't stop. I could not stop laughing.
Well, you could just sense that you were
in
about to explode.
Yeah.
Right. Even as soon as he said it, I could see on your face.
Oh, mate, it was hilarious.
It was outstanding.
Very funny.
Now, are we mentioning the fact that also that I'll pick up the Herald Sun on Sunday Herald Sun and the Bont.
Yeah.
Marcus Bontempelli, arguably the best player in the comp right now. And how he absolutely idolised one Matthew Richardson as a kid when he was growing up, a mad Richmond supporter.
I knew he was
idolised.
I knew he was a Tigers supporter, but I must admit I didn't know that. And there's a picture of him here at a clinic at Punt Road.
There is, yeah. And even now, he said right at the end of the article, okay, so the article is Why I Loved Richo. He said, although Richo has been put on the back burners, I still have to pinch myself when we cross paths now. He was a giant of the game, but the twist is it's now Richo calling my name.
You know what? I'm actually...
Oh, please.
I actually am in love with Marcus Bontempelli.
Really?
I'll put that out there. He is a superstar.
Well, it's not just him that idolised you. Nathan Fyfe idolised you. I dare say if David Mundy's sister barracked for Richmond, he probably did so. He idolised you too.
Why didn't we recruit these guys?
Well, I'm going to suggest to Blair Hartley that we do what Graham Richmond used to do in the old days with Jack Dyer, and he used to take Jack with him on recruiting missions to the country to lure players to the club. I think we need to use you. Blair needs to use you as the ambassador. List management, recruiting ambassador to go with him to get these players.
If we can get good players to the club, I'll do anything, Tony.
Okay,
don't worry about that.
All right.
Hey, before we move on to some emails and tweets, JB, I just want to give a plug. Got a letter here today from a very, very good musician here in Melbourne, Kit Warhurst, and he sent me a copy of his new album, Colour Wheel.
He's not related to...
Miff's brother, Kit Warhurst. He sent me his new album, Colour Wheel, which I'm going to have a listen to on the way home, his debut solo album. And he said at the bottom, P.S. Love the weekly podcast, go Tigers. So Kit's a big Tiger man.
That's awesome.
So go out and grab that album.
You know what they'll sound good on?
Yeah.
the Bang &
Oh, the
Olufsen
Bang &
BO,
Olufsen.
Jeez, how good
BO
are
Play
they?
H9s.
Absolutely crystal clear.
Presenting partner of Talking Tigers.
It is our new sponsor. So Kit Warhurst, Colour Wheel. Thanks, Kit. I hope you're
on you,
listening
Kit.
today.
Yep.
We'll have a listen to that album.
You've got mail.
A couple of emails in during the week. This from Philip Burrell. He said, "Hi guys, to say I'm a bit flat is probably the understatement of the year.
We
so
know how
you're
you
in
feel.
good company there,
Yeah.
Phil. No doubt the players are gutted, but hey, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I hope they can use this low point to really dig in and get going again. He and the whole family are coming down from Mount Beauty for the Dreamtime game. Can't wait to see the boys back on the winners list.
Beautiful.
So thanks for that, Phil.
What you got to remember, we've lost 3 games, 2 by less than a goal. Things
It's
are
pretty
okay.
good, so of
Things are
course.
going to be okay.
We've got a huge upside, I reckon.
Yeah.
This one
Huge
from
upside.
Paul Cullen has obviously seen something on the website that's caught his eye. Say, "G'day, Greeners, Richo and JB. Is it just me or is the new VFL man on the ground, Louis Gillette, looking strikingly
Gillette.
similar
Gillette.
to Sam Scoot McClure,
Yeah, no,
which
he does.
we've
He
picked
does.
up on
Yeah,
before?
he does. Yeah.
He says it's not just the looks. Both of them are on very good terms with themselves, but neither.
Yeah, no, I think Sam might be a bit further happy with himself.
I think Scoot McClure is the length of Flemington straight ahead of our boy Louis Gillette as far as rating himself.
Yes.
And now that
He rates himself. He's in love with himself, Scoot McClure.
Well, now that he's got a new sponsor in Footy Central as well, he's gone
he?
to he's got himself sponsored.
Oh,
But
no.
You need to. I know he's not on your thread anymore,
Yeah.
but I think he's on 7. You need to have a word to him.
No, we have. Don't worry about it.
Really?
Oh, his ego.
You and Moons have had a word to him.
Yeah, me and Moons chatted to him. His ego is unpenetrable
Right,
at the
okay.
moment.
Paul reckons neither are on Manfred's level, though, which is probably fair.
Well, yeah.
And then
You said you saw Manfred in a pink suit the other day. Or
he
something.
had some form of...
mean, that's
I'd
getting
say
ahead of
it's-
yourself.
It was verging on pink blazer.
So that's getting ahead of yourself.
If you,
isn't
if
it?
you had a
It's showy.
podium for people who are
there's
happy
your
with
top three.
themselves, that's your top 3, isn't it? Manfred's clearly number 1, followed by Scoot McClure and our man Louis
Well, you
Gillette.
know what the common denominator there is? You.
Oh,
You've been involved with them all.
no.
They've learned from you.
Gravitated.
Let JB finish his
No, keep going. Paul reckons maybe Louis could be referred to as the dollop in future as the junior scoop.
Oh, the dollop.
I
I
like
like
it.
that.
Like pikelets and sconsie.
And he wants to know if you got
Dollop on that.
if you got any more Mark Coughlin stories, Richo. But
Oh,
that could
yeah.
be one for another day.
Yeah.
A couple of tweets.
We need to get the wheel back.
Yeah, we
Richo's
might do
wheel.
that. We might do
Maybe
that.
next week. Yeah. Good
A
point.
few tweets came through during the week. The King, Wayne Murphy, wanted to talk about Patrick Naish kicking 7 goals for Ivanhoe,
Did he?
which is one
Yeah, he
for the
did
recruiters
last week,
to
yeah.
watch, which is good.
So obviously, sorry, JB, but
Yes.
but he's been playing halfback predominantly at junior level, but obviously
This is his
he's
high
gone up
school
forward.
footy,
Yes. And I believe
He's
his
gone forward there.
brother as well kicked
Kicked 2.
So
Yeah.
good signs there. Kiwi Tiger, Andrew Sloman,
Slowy.
he tweeted something saying, definite discussion point for Talking Tigers. It didn't mean much until I clicked on it, and then, the internet's not working, but it had a Channel 7 tweet of Richo's top 10 moments or something that
did
you'd
it?
put together.
Did it?
Yeah, I wobbled around again.
Wobbled.
The top 10 moments of
No,
what?
the Bulldogs game a few years ago.
Oh, the 10 goals.
Okay. Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I do.
Of course you do. We didn't win another
Should've
game
kicked
that
11
season.
that day. I
Didn't win
gave
another
one.
game that season. You
Yeah,
know
we
that?
didn't.
Yeah.
If we weren't flat enough, Brendan Fisher's tweeted in saying if we'd put in an extra 10% the last 2 weeks, we'd be 7-1 and on top of the ladder. So
We're not.
Yeah.
we're not, so we can't deal in that. One for you, Richo.
Yeah.
Brock Solid's tweeted in, could we see goal line reviews for poor umpiring decisions? Replay showed there was nothing in the caddy,
Seriously,
no goal.
I've got a rant coming up, but that was outrageous, that decision, the Josh Caddy goal against Jack Rewalt for shepherding on the line. They have not paid one of those.
Since 1967.
They don't pay them. They simply don't pay that free kick. How they plucked one out all of a sudden has got me. I could not believe that.
it's just- yeah.
Gee, it was frustrating.
It's just umpires that want a big note occasionally.
Very frustrating.
The Tails asked, given that contested marks are so rare around the ground, are we relying on them too much going inside forward 50 for scoring outlets?
No, I thought we hit the lead up pretty well on the weekend. Jack took a number of marks on the lead. Look, it's predictable, and if we've got 3 good little small crummers down there that are putting pressure on it. They know where it's going. They can lock it in. So, no, I don't think that's an issue.
Okay, Christmas Smith is saying it was gut-wrenching, but he takes solace in the fact that we can dust ourselves off and chase down margins, regardless of how big they are.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
A few people talking about the umpiring, so
we
we'll leave
won't
that
go
to
there.
you, Richo. A couple of positives from Manfred on the day was Josh Caddy's most influential performance
I
as a
thought he's
Tiger.
been pretty good.
Yeah,
last
very
few
good.
weeks,
And Sean Grigg all day. And finally, one from Roxman, who is back on board, which I think he was off you last year, Richard,
did.
around the Johnny Patton stuff.
Well, he wasn't
timely.
happy. Well, he thought that there was something in the Johnny Patton coming to Richmond thing, and we had a disagreement on it.
Okay.
But I've apologised, and
We move on, as we always do.
Yeah,
and he said that unfortunately he knew that when Ellis kicked the goal that he thought it was normal that we might lose this, which is disappointing.
So
That's
we have
the
to
curse.
We have to break this
It's
curse.
my mate.
Well, can you do it? Can you? What is he doing, your
He
mate?
needs funding to make the movie.
Mate, you've got millions. Why can't you fund him?
No, well, I haven't got millions, but I might empty out the piggy bank because I think we need to make this movie.
do. We
Get
do.
rid of the curse.
And the last one from Ryan Kirkpatrick is this week now becomes a must-win, but there's no better time to face than Giants with a couple of stars down. So.
Yeah, Canelio out.
Yeah.
Hey, the General Patton, he'll be playing up there on Saturday.
He will be playing.
he will. Yeah.
Playing big time.
Oh.
Yep.
He loves it, the General. I'll tell you who didn't love something that happened
What?
last Friday.
Who?
Our fearless leader.
Yeah.
The Chief Gale.
Yeah.
He was up at the 1967, which we're going to get into
We'll
a bit
get
later.
into the spirit of 67.
We
We'll
had
discuss it.
the
Yep.
life member function here at Punt Road up in the Morris Rioli room.
Terrific day.
And we celebrated 50 years since the 1967 Premiership. And a lot of the boys were there. We had Bones Richardson, Johnny Ronaldson, Billy Brown,
TJ.
Swooper Northey, TJ, Graham Bergen.
Yep.
Who else was there?
Johnny Perry.
Johnny Perry,
Yeah.
Mike Perry.
Mike Perry.
So it was a great day, and a few of the 1980 boys were there. I saw Disco Roach there. I saw the Ghost Jimmy Jess
I
there.
saw even further back Bones McGee from 73, 74
Bones
as
McGee
well.
was there.
Yep.
Mick Malthouse was there.
Mickey was there,
So
yep.
it was a great day. Everyone had fun except the Chief Gale.
Why?
He stormed out.
Storm? I didn't see that.
Yeah, stormed out.
Really? What happened?
Well, we wouldn't let him get up and talk. He wanted to get up and talk, but Peggy O'Neill got up and talked.
And Barmy?
Barmy got up and spoke.
He was flat.
The chief was looking at me because I was the MC.
Yeah.
After Barmy got down, he was looking at me like, sort of
introduce
saying,
me.
"Oh, it's time for me to get up."
Oh.
But we didn't. We got a panel up that included Johnny Ronaldson.
Oh, it was terrific.
Yeah.
The
So
panel
it was
was
about
great.
the night, as Barmy said, it wasn't about him.
No.
It was about the 1967 boys.
Well, what would, with all due respect to Brandon, what would he have
Well,
had to offer?
that-
Because he
nothing.
Right.
He wouldn't have had anything to offer because he didn't play in 1967.
See, Barmy didn't either, but Barmy
Yeah.
arrived just afterwards.
So Barmy
and
could
played with a
relate
lot
to
of
them,
those
yeah.
players. Yeah.
So the chief stormed out. Didn't finish his eye fillet. Just left.
This is a good feed too.
Good, very good feed. So he needs to just.
Oh, that's disappointing.
yeah.
It can't always be about
Can't
him.
always be about him.
No.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
I feel like I should say that he didn't storm out, but he did.
Well, you made that up.
No, I didn't make that. But he did leave early.
He was miffed, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was miffed.
He was just a bit confused. Hey, I got a text message after last week's
you?
Talking Tigers, and it was from our mate Brett Deledio,
Former
former
mate.
TT's own.
Oh,
No,
former TT's own. Yeah.
And he sent me a text message, and basically he said that Greeners,
Yeah.
that you are kidding yourself.
What with?
That's
And
fair.
there was a photo with the text message
What with?
saying, "I'm filthy with Greeners."
What's his problem?
He thinks that you think you're bitter that he went to the GWS Giants. He thinks you're bitter.
Bitter?
And you know what he was referring to?
What?
Your team of Country Tigers that was on the website.
Yeah, he's had plenty of time to have a look at it.
He can't believe that you didn't have him in the starting 18. You had him on the
Well,
interchange bench.
Matter where they are.
And he's as mad as hell.
Mate, does it matter? He's in the 22. What does that matter?
I
it's
agree
all-
with him. I think he
Well,
should have been in the 18.
I think
you
it
know
matters.
what? You know
I think
what?
he's clearly in the top couple of
Well,
Country Tigers
Eric
of all
Moore
time.
was pretty stiff not to be in as well. Cementhead from Coleraine. Okay, so
So-
he was unlucky. And Brett, look, TT's former own. He is such a good player, such a versatile player that the coach of the team, I'm not the coach, but the coach would need to see
Right.
where there was a deficiency early on in the game,
Right.
where we could get an advantage, then to use Brett either as a rebounding defender,
So in
a lead
hindsight,
up
do you think he
forward.
should have been in the starting 18?
No, I think he's very, very good where he is in the 22
Why-
because he could be on after 1 minute.
And I'm actually-
So what does it matter?
And I'm actually miffed that you had Nathan Brown on the bench as well. Seriously.
I don't think he was in the
He's
22.
the most talented
Was
player
he
I
in the-
played with.
Was he in the 22?
He didn't even make it. Oh, gosh.
No, he did make it.
better not tell him.
He did make
So-
it. Oh, come on, Brett.
So I'm just letting
Come
you
on,
know.
mate.
he's
You're in the
filthy.
side. What does it matter?
Brett Deledio's not happy.
Come on, mate.
Hey, we're heading to Brett Deledio territory this
I
Saturday.
I hope he doesn't take it out on us on Saturday.
In person.
Yeah.
He's back training, actually,
Oh,
Freddie.
good,
Yeah.
good.
So we're playing on Saturday. So we've got an open training session at Spotless Stadium. It says on the website on Saturday, but it's actually on Friday from 4 p.m. So get there at 3:30 p.m. to see the Tigers on the training track. The Superstore will also be at Spotless Stadium outside of
Does it travel up there, does
Gate. Oh, it travels everywhere.
Does it? I
It's
didn't
very
know that.
versatile. Outside Gate D, and we'll be operating from 2 p.m. until the start of the game. And if you're interested in a match day function and heading to the round 9 game against GWS, you can call 039426 4429 or visit Richmond.
Just repeat that number again.
That's 03, especially if you're calling out of Sydney, 9426 4429 or visit richmondcorporate.com.au. Premium reserve seat, all you can eat, all that sort of deal. So
Good.
It's a good little stadium, Spotless.
Yeah. When is it
Boutique.
not? Is it not spotless after a game when there's rubbish all around,
Oh, jeez.
or is it always spotless?
You're doing the gags early, aren't
Yeah,
you?
going early with them.
Hey, Johnny P's
Sharpen
here,
up.
boys.
Yeah, good to see
G'day,
Johnny.
Good to
Johnny.
see you, Johnny.
so that's about all the club news I got this week.
That's it. That's it. Membership. What about membership total?
We're nearly
69,101.
We're nearly there.
So jump on board to hit
Yeah, get on
70k. Injury list this week. No additions, thankfully, out of the weekend.
How's Dion Prestia going?
He's up for another fitness test this week for a hamstring soreness, so I
Yeah.
guess it's a managed one.
Anyone else back?
No one else.
No.
So
The
everyone's
young boy,
a week closer.
Jack Graham.
He's just still 4 to 5.
Okay.
so-
I sat with Jack Graham at the 67.
Oh,
mark.
really?
Yeah.
Is he a good
He's
kid?
a great kid.
Great kid, very level-headed.
Wishing bell.
Yeah,
Actually, I've got a
excellent.
stump greeners for you here.
Oh,
good.
go
Greeners.
with it.
This is from Jeff McDonough, actually,
Yeah.
from Launceston, Tasmania. Launceston.
Hey, Jeff.
In regards to the 1967 grand final,
Yes.
which player scored the most points for Richmond without a goal in the game?
Oh, yes.
Good question.
Think
Most
about it.
Points
Think
without,
about it.
No, I think I've got the answer.
What?
Paddy Ganane?
No.
Oh, got him.
Stumped. Got him.
Got him.
Beautifully bowled.
It's actually John Northey.
Swooper.
Okay.
Hey,
No goals and 2 behinds.
So who was that?
Jeff McDonough.
Well done, Jeff.
Launceston, Tasmania.
Jeff, you are owed a TTT.
Yes. We've got
So-
your email address, so,
So
hit
please,
us back up.
please email us, talkingtigers@richmondfc.com.au,
work,
and if JB does his job, he'll send it out to you. Oh, wow.
One of many jobs.
He's very busy.
He's filthy, JB. Puts me to sleep, this.
It's good, isn't it? Oh, I need something to
Oh,
put
I
me to
need to
sleep.
go. I haven't
slept. I have not slept. I've replayed it over and over in my mind. Anyway, move on.
What are you doing?
Move on. Well, I'm trying to move on, but I can't. I'm actually going with my top 10 Tigers to kick a winning goal after the siren,
Oh,
final
right.
siren.
And you're gonna go in
the
order?
Top 10. I'm going in. No, I'm going in
you would pick
alphabetical
first?
order. I'm going in alphabetical order.
I reckon you've got to go out on a
I
limb.
don't have time.
Right, I do it.
Busy. All right. Like my diary.
You're not that busy.
Actually, we should mention previously that there are the instances that we've seen throughout league footy history that I've seen of Richmond players that have done it.
Who's done it?
First
Geordie
one I saw was
McMahon?
Geordie McMahon did it. Obviously, Sam Lloyd, 12 months to the day that David Mundy did it. And I saw Paul Serra do it at Moorabbin against St Kilda in a howling gale. And it was the round where the umpires were on strike.
Oh, right.
And Brad Beitzel, Harry's son, umpired the game
Yeah, right.
at Moorabbin, and he kicked
Bruce
the goal.
Eva would have been flat.
Yeah.
Old
And
Beaver.
Paul Serra kicked the goal. He was right, I think, 10 metres out or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to go now. Number one, so this is going through in alphabetical order. Top 10 Tigers to kick the winning goal after the final side.
Righto.
Who you'd rely on?
Go.
Number one, I've got Darren Gasper. Now, you said that Gas is a very, very good. I know he was a key defender and a very, very good key defender.
If 25 metres out straight in front, I'd put my house on Gassy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So kicked 22-9 in his career, but number two had to have Royce. Now Royce actually started off. He was a little bit erratic with his, but became a beautiful exponent of the drop punt.
Succinct. We like this to be
Okay.
punchy.
Number three was Big Bob Hurd. Now that might surprise you, but Big Bob was a forward pocket beanpole ruckman. 45-14 he kicked in his career. It was a very, very good shot for goal. Very accurate kick. Number four had to go with Sam Lloyd. He's proven it.
proven.
And he has kicked 59-26 throughout his
He
career.
drilled a
It's very
goal in the VFL game that Eddie had last week from 50 metres out, 45-degree angle, and he just carved it through the middle.
He's just he just knows where they are.
He does.
Doesn't he? Number five, I've got your former teammate, Big Brad.
Big pill.
Big Pill was a very good kick for goal too.
Yeah.
You know, from
Beautiful kick
all
for
angles and everything. Number six, I've got Bones, Barry Richardson. Bones would kick the flat punt. Played a lot, obviously, at fullback too, but went full forward. Was a
Like Peter
really
Hudson, the flat
good,
punt.
very, very much like played
Actually,
like that.
Peter
and kicked
Hudson,
like that.
you would actually probably.
Yeah. Well, McKenna was a pretty handy
Yeah.
kick too. Yeah. Or Royce.
And plug
Anyway,
it up
number 7, I've got Jack. Jack's a very good kick for goal. You know, well, he did miss a couple, but
the one that he did kick in the last quarter was a nice kick.
It was a really good kick. Yep. So number 8, Disco. I've got Michael Roach.
Spoke to Disco yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, he's going to that Tassie function
Oh,
tomorrow
okay,
night.
I met him. I spoke to him at the function. So very good kick for goal, Disco, and from any distance as well, and angle. Number 9, another former teammate of yours, Greg Stafford.
Yeah.
Stafford's a very, very good kick. Really good.
Yeah.
Kick. And number 2, Big BT. The big barge.
Is he accurate, Bargy? Was
Yeah, no, Barge is a very good kick for goal.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's
I
my
like
top
that.
10.
That was
There
a
we
good
go.
little one.
All right.
Yeah.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are. To let the best of
Yes, it's VFL report time, and as always, we're joined by our main man in the VFL, Louis Gillett. Louis, you look sharp today. I like that jacket you've got on. You're a smooth-looking unit.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. I think it's important to take a bit of personal care with yourself, the way you dress.
It is.
So, well, thank you very much for pointing it out.
Yeah, you should give Greeners some tips on fashion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be a bit of work out of me, but I'll...
When you get to my age, you just dress for comfort, not for fashion.
Fair enough, Greeners. I'm all about that.
Mate, what happened at Box Hill?
Yeah, unfortunately, Sunday, pretty difficult day for Tiger fans in both VFL and AFL, as it turned out. 22 points it was in the end, our defeat to the now undefeated Box Hill as well. They've gone 5-0. So obviously a pretty well-oiled unit we came up against there, but still plenty of great signs to take away, especially from some of our AFL-listed players in this one.
Who was the pick of the bunch?
The pick of the bunch of the AFL boys anyway was probably Anthony Miles again. He had another very impressive game with his 29 disposals. Again, just getting a lot of contested ball and using it very effectively. 7 marks as well. His marking's really improved over the past couple of weeks, which is a really good point moving forward. 7 clearances, 5 tackles, and a goal to go with it as well. So you can see that that's a pretty well-rounded scorecard, and really good signs from Milesy.
What about another strong contested inside mid in Jacob Townsend? How did he go?
Yeah, Towner coming back this week did have a big game and was one of the best players there, Greeners. 25 touches it was for him. 15 uncontested possessions and 9 contested. So focusing a bit more on the outside ball this week, but still did plenty with it. 6 marks and 4 clearances as well, and then just a solitary tackle too. So really good signs from him coming back in this one as well. Still managed to play the full game of footy and really had an impact, which is great to see.
Yep.
Sam Lloyd was a late call-up to the extended squad last week for the AFL duties. Didn't make the final team. How did he go in VFL? I saw he kick 3 goals.
Yeah, that's exactly right, which is fast becoming par for Sammy Lloyd. He's averaging about 3 goals in the VFL, which was fantastic. Probably saw him play a bit of a similar role that you'd see him play in the AFL. The past couple of weeks in the VFL, he's been running through the midfield and getting high numbers in disposals. Still had the 16 touches this week, which is good for him. But focused a bit more on that forward play from him. And you can really tell through his 6 marks. And again, that 3 goals just shows you how much of an impact he's having on that score sheet.
What about Big Ivan Soldo? How did he go moving back from his AFL debut?
Yeah, that's right. Coming down from the AFL, he still had a pretty solid game, 24 hitouts, which I thought was impressive from him. The 14 disposals as well, so he's probably had high numbers in the VFL, but he was coming up against Mark Pittonet for Box Hill, who is one of the better young ruckmans in the VFL at the moment. So he was well matched there, but still managed to hold his own, and we still got some good use of the footy out of the middle thanks to his work.
And his cousin, Big Ivy, he played?
Yeah, Big Ivy as well. They did rotate through, and he got the 17 hitouts as well, so not far behind. So a pretty decent tandem effort, and we only did lose the hitout count by 4 in there in the end. So it was a pretty good effort to try and match up against the quality they have in the ruck over at Box Hill.
Just looking at the final scores, I noticed that we had more scoring shots than Box Hill, but went down by 22 points without being at the game. Were they bad misses, under pressure?
Yeah, there was a couple that were under pressure. In particular, the second quarter, there was perhaps a few like rush behinds and that sort of thing. And certainly Box Hill, the one thing you did notice about it, that their defensive pressure was really quite intense and was really good. And it's obviously a big reason why they've managed to build this pretty decent run in the early stages of the season. But yeah, that second quarter, when we did most of our scoring, we did kind of get a few too many behinds, and perhaps we could have taken a few of those chances to move a bit further in front. But obviously hindsight's 20/20, and at the time, like I say, Box Hill were really doing well in that defensive half.
Now, what about the 2 small forwards, Bolton and Stengel? How did they go?
Yeah, so Shea obviously...
My man. My man, Shea Bolton.
Shea Bolton's your man, isn't he?
I'm claiming him early, Louis.
Okay. Oh, is that
I'm
right?
just anticipating a debut. I got my yellow and black wrong. We'll go through that later. But I'm just anticipating.
It's a real surprise, mate, given he was our first pick in the draft last year. But anyway,
all over him.
Gone out on a limb, haven't I?
Yeah, you really have. Yeah.
No, but it was a good one from Shea. Again, 19 touches for him, and we're starting to see a bit more of his work throughout the midfield, which is fantastic because he's got a very clean disposal, moves around the ground extremely well also. And also started off the game really well with 1 goal. And perhaps had a couple of chances to hit the scoreboard again. But like I was saying, that pressure going back, obviously on a player as young as Shea is, still something he's going to have to adjust to at both VFL and AFL levels. But still, really great signs from him.
Is his tackle pressure good?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the standout from all of our small forwards, so Shea and also Tyson Stengel, is that forward pressure that they apply. They get great tackle numbers every week, always chasing down every loose ball they can get. And I'll tell you what, the coaches would just love what they're doing so far at that end of the ground.
Might be a Dreamtime debut, do you think? Could be a chance?
I think
got a sneaky feeling. Interesting.
Maybe. And Stengel went all right too?
Yeah, Stengel was good as well. He's obviously, like we always say about Tyson and Shea as well, even if their disposal count isn't that high, what really matters is that they do end up having a noticeable impact, which they did. So it was 11 touches in the end for Tyson. He still ended up with his goal, and his forward pressure was fantastic as well. So he's really putting his hat in the ring at the moment. He's constantly producing excellent displays, which is great to see.
Louis, before we let you go, Fly, what was his comment after the game?
Well, speaking a bit to Fly after the game, it was obviously of the sentiment that we did come up against a good side. Obviously, Box Hill are undefeated, like we've said. But there's still good signs moving forward. Obviously, our good numbers coming out of the middle. We had a couple in the high 20s and one, Jacob Ballard, one of our leaders, over at 34 disposals as well. So there's still plenty of good signs moving forward, and he just really stressed that need that to win at this level, it does require a 4-quarter effort, as cliche as that might sound, and that's something that we can work on moving forward.
Just quickly, Chris Newman coaches Box Hill, a former Tiger.
Yeah, that's exactly
Did his head nearly wobble off after the game, Newey? Because he rates himself very highly.
Yeah, you'd probably know a bit about that better than me, Richo, but didn't get a chance to catch up with Newey after the game, which is unfortunate, but obviously Box Hill going into that second half were pretty well drilled and they managed to ride out the game pretty well. So I reckon he'd probably be pretty happy with the way they closed it out.
Next up?
Next up we got Williamstown away next week, 2 o'clock on the Sunday at Burbank Oval. So it should be an interesting one, coming up against another former Tiger and Adam Markin, who's playing out there at the moment.
It'll be nice and cold and windy there.
Oh, yeah, just the way we like it, isn't it?
Mate, thank you. You'll need to wear that jacket out at Willie next
I
week.
reckon there may be another one over the top, Richo.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate.
No worries.
You know how we had the podium before, the top 3?
Yep.
Manfred Mann, clearly number 1 on the podium.
Yeah, well, when you start wearing pink suits, yeah.
I reckon our man's just starting to... He's creeping up on Scoop a little bit.
Jeez.
Just after today's form. Wobbled in there, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he's looking sharp, though.
No, he looks good, Louis. Well done. He's the superstar, Louis. Let's have a look at some votes now for the Freo game.
Yes.
I don't think we've talked about it off the top. We don't need to.
Every footy show has.
Every
sporting betting agency is.
So I think we're just going to lob into some votes straight away, Tone.
Well, you go.
All right, I'll go. I gave my 3 votes to Alex Rance. Fair dinkum. If he wasn't out there in the first 3 quarters, I reckon we would have been about 10 goals down. He is a superstar, Alex Rance. I reckon that's the best he's played this year. Getting right back into his 3-time All-Australian form. Intercept, courage, just brave to come off his man and help out.
Your mate Moons the week before,
Luke
Darcy,
Moons Darcy.
Yeah, Moons Darcy. It said that he is the best defender the game's ever seen the week before.
And you sort of, if you look at it, I'm starting to swing Moons' way on that one. He's pretty good, isn't he?
Moons.
He's in the ballpark with Silvani and Scarlett.
Oh, he has to be.
Sure.
He has to be. His body of work over the last 5 years, absolutely.
I went 2 to Sean Grigg. He's getting better with age, Griggy. He's like a nice bottle of red, isn't he? Just getting better the longer he stays in it. 2 to Sean Grigg.
A Cab Sav or a Shiraz?
Nice Shiraz.
Shiraz?
Yeah, nice.
Or Merlot?
He might even be a bit of a blend, I reckon. Sean Grigg, 2 votes, and 1 to Dustin Martin. I thought his last quarter was fantastic, and he's in good nick again, Dusty.
All right, JB.
Yeah, I've tried to erase the game from my memory, so bear with me. I gave 3 to Alex Rance for the reasons Richo has put in words. Nothing more can be said. 2 I gave to Dustin Martin, which seems to be a common occurrence at the moment. He just keeps getting the job done, and his last quarter was right up there. Apologies to Sean Grigg. I gave 1 vote to Camden McIntosh. I thought
Griggy out.
Yeah, I thought it was Camden's best four-quarter game since his debut, and
he's looking all right, isn't he?
Probably, unlucky not to.
You won't get
right up there.
You won't get a free spud down at Griggy's Spud Bar. Hey,
won't get one tipped on my head.
Yeah.
But,
all right, I gave same as Richo, just different order. 3 to Rance, 2 to Martin, and 1 to Grigg.
Yeah, good on you. So, do you want the leaderboard?
Yes, please.
I think I updated. Let me just look at last week. So, I did update it. So, Dustin Martin, he's in front on 35, 13-vote lead from Trent Cotchin, who is on 22. Jack's on 20. Rancey's on 19. And Griggy's in 5th place. And I reckon that'd just about be the best and fairest there. We're pretty accurate, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
There you go.
All right.
Is it starting to lose its punch this segment?
No, I think
Shine's taken
off.
off.
I don't know. I just...
We might have to bring
I've lost the knack with this, I must admit,
You've been hanging around me too much.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no,
So what happened last week?
Well, I went with Dan Butler.
Did you?
To get a Rising Star nomination, and no, he was a bit quiet, but anyway.
Yeah. So what are you going to do?
Well,
You need to...
but I'm not giving up on this. I'm going to be really strong and bold this week with my yellow and black booker, because you have a go at me when I'm not, because I could have easily just gone for Koch or someone like that to Jack or something. But no, I've gone for Jacob Townsend to come into the senior lineup against his old club.
Did you ask Louis
GWS
about Townsend?
Yeah.
In the VFL?
Yeah. What are you listening?
Oh, I switch off when you talk normally. Sorry.
Clearly. And he said that Townsend went really well, was probably in the top 3 players for the VFL team. So I'm going for him to come in and have an impact.
And if it is wet, his hardness will be...
Against his old club, he'll be really keen to do well.
All right, I might jump in, because you're the only one who probably got it right this week. I went with Bolton to debut. I was 1 week too early with that.
Well, you reckon he'll debut this week?
I've just got a feeling that
this week, not dream time.
I've just got an inkling that he might play this week,
Righto.
but I'm not going with that. So I didn't really get that wrong, because he's going to play this week. But anyway, I did get it wrong, because I said he'd play last week.
Of course you got it wrong. What do you mean?
Very
wrong. Of course you got it wrong.
So I'm going this
Couldn't
week
have got it wronger.
with my big mate from Tasmania, who'll be pumped up after the Tassie function tomorrow night.
Benny
no,
Gale. Oh.
Big Toby.
Oh, the big
I'm
Nank.
going with Big Nank, and my layer on that is that he will get some coaches' votes. Coaches Association
against
votes.
Mummy.
Against the big mummy.
Okay.
Last week I said that our defence will keep the trio of Taberner, Kirsten...
Cabernet, you got them.
Cab Sap.
Merlot.
Must be just thinking of some lunchtime wines.
Ooh, in front of the fire, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
We deserve a little bottle of red over lunch.
That's a
after
great idea. Big steak.
Oh, yeah.
Taberner, Kirsten and McCarthy, our defence would keep into 5 goals or less.
And they did.
And you got that.
And they were 5 goals exact, but in a low-scoring game.
Yeah, they were fairly
I don't know if I can claim that, because they were probably the difference, especially in the second and third quarters.
Okay.
This week I've gone for Jack Riewoldt with the layer of rain, spotless stadium.
Yeah.
He will kick his average there, which is 5 goals.
5 goals in the wet?
Yep.
Wow.
That's his average at Spotless Stadium. Obviously helped by the last time when he kicked 11.
Right,
but
I like that. That's good.
I like it. Good stuff. Hey, can I just go do a little tweet here?
Absolutely, you can.
I'm just looking at hashtag Talking Tigers. Justin Seppi.
Seppi?
At the Seppi91. He says, can we please discuss the setup around the ball with the last bounce? I think we didn't address it, so we're not going to, because it's been addressed.
No, it's been addressed.
And obviously it wasn't great, and you have to move on.
Can I throw this up as a theory? Now, and this was put, I mentioned during the week, and I don't know how this would work. Could you have put, obviously you have your 4 in the centre square, but could you have put everyone else back? Could you put everyone else back?
Absolutely.
You can, you could.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, just wanted to check. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you can,
there's
technically.
No
rules. I know you can, but would you put everyone else back?
No.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. I can't want to talk about it.
Nor
we
do
move
I.
on?
I don't either. All right.
It's just hard to think about.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. It's gone.
And we need to move on, because we've got GWS
Move
this
on.
week. So what do you...
4 days.
What do you want to focus on this week with the GWS game?
I think the matchup between, obviously, their key forward...
Jeremy Cameron is his name.
Jeremy Cameron. I'm getting old. I am getting old. I'm forgetting things.
You need to go to the doc.
Sorry, Das. Sorry, what's your name?
Yeah,
No. Jeremy Cameron, okay, because he's obviously coming off a 6-goal game.
Yeah.
He's the leading goal kicker in the comp.
yeah,
He's leading the
leading the
Coleman.
Coleman.
Alex Rance will play on him because he's got the pace to go with him.
So you think
that
that's the
will
key?
be a key matchup.
Yeah, Rancy.
And Rancy in great form
think
too.
Rancy,
so it'll be a
but-
ripping duel. That.
And if it's wet, if the forecast is wet, they may not even go with their 3 tools.
Really?
Or I think Lobb will play because he's the second ruckman.
How's Patton's groin?
Well, I
It's
think
been-
you just watch this space. Patton mightn't play this week.
Really?
Yeah, and his flatmate Canelio's out as well with his ankle. So, my key to this game is the ruck duel. Two very similar ruckmen. Big Mummy v Nank. I've already talked about
Geez,
it.
that'll be a feisty encounter, won't it?
It's just they're both very similar the way they play, and I think Nank will take that as a real challenge, to bring Mummy down. So I think that's the key duel in the
Like a
game.
world
I think if
championship wrestling bout,
if
isn't
Nank
it,
gets on top of Mummy, then we're a massive chance of causing a bit of an upset up there.
If Mummy gets on top of Nank, he'll never get off.
Oh no, he's a big unit. I love Mummy.
You can tell him that.
No.
What would you like to focus on?
Well,
this
I think
week?
the last couple of weeks' run has really hurt us. Opposition run. Johannesson for the Bulldogs got on top, and then last week it was Hill and Walters who unanimous the top 2 players in the coaches' votes.
Geez, their ability to run is amazing.
Brad Hill was the best runner in the comp.
Well, this week we're up against a pretty good runner in Tom Scully.
Gee, I forgot
Yeah.
Both ways.
Josh Kelly
gets the ball, and then Josh Kelly inside and outside does a lot of work. So
He sure doesn't mind a bit of a run with the ball either.
yeah. Basically all of them, and Tony
anyway.
Green's back as well. But
So
I reckon we've got to
nullifying
keep
that run.
Scully and Kelly in check.
Yeah, good call.
So
Good
call.
that would
No,
be
that is.
what I look to.
All right, beautiful.
All right.
Now, Tone, you've got your little segment now.
Ah,
I saw her sitting in the rain.
well, I just thought this week we'd just change it up a bit because we spoke about the function that we
Yeah.
had, the Life Members function.
Yeah.
So I thought you and I would talk about it. And first of all, I must say, and with all jokes aside,
Yeah.
the great job that you did as host, and you did a tremendous job.
Thanks, mate.
And I tell you what, you are an excellent host. And if I ever decide to get married again, you are the person that I would like to MC the function, and that's most unlikely.
You need to speak.
Well, I just want to give you a plug for your
Yeah.
website, because anyone out there, I can thoroughly endorse you as a host.
I haven't updated it or looked at it for 3 years. So if anyone has emailed me, I'm sorry.
But it,
What a waste of money that
I know.
website
Perhaps
was.
they get sent in via TT, and we can get.
They still
get
charge
it
you for the domain.
Do
Oh, they always do,
It's
yeah.
no good anyway. But it was a really good function.
Yeah, thanks.
And
what was your highlight of the function?
Oh, well, you trying to get Billy Brown off the
Oh,
stage?
Billy Brown. He loved it, Billy, didn't he?
He did. He was terrific. But I think the theme that came through was the fact that they all had their jobs that they had to do. They were all knew they had a role. It was fulfilling your role.
That's
wasn't
what came through to me, and a lot of stuff that you can still bring through to today. It was the champion team versus the team of champions, almost, wasn't it?
Oh, and that's true. And that
The
Geelong
Geelong
side
team
had some of the greats of the game, like Wade and Farmer and Goggin and Sharrock and
Dennis
Marshall.
Marshall.
Brilliant players. But and we'd gone into that final series with not one player with finals experience.
Yeah.
And yet we were a really good team, well drilled through Tommy. But there was a real closeness within the group.
The other thing, I think Mike Perry said it first, that early in the year, when they started to get a bit of a roll on, he said that they went into every game and they thought they would
knew
win.
they
Their
knew they could
mindset
win.
was that they were going to win every game.
Yeah,
and that's you don't have that sometimes.
No, and I think Tommy was great in that regard. Also because they knew that they were so fit that they could overrun sides, because they were way ahead. Tommy was way ahead of his time with his training regime and everything. So they were super fit, and they were able to overrun sides and everything.
And a few of the guys commented on Len Smith and the influence he had
Before Tommy arrived.
So it was a couple of years in the making, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. And then to recruit the certain players, obviously to go and make the MCG the home ground, and then to recruit the right sort of players, so bigger players that could run and kick the ball long too was really important. But
then one other thing I took out of it was that you need a good mix. They had some older experienced guys that have been around. They had blokes, a mix of that mid-tier.
Yeah.
See, it's the structure of your list.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about list management now.
Yep.
They had it. They had the older guys. They had some mid-tier guys. Sometimes you miss that.
That's true.
You have that void in your list.
Yeah. And then the younger
and then
players.
they had young superstars.
So, we've mentioned before, like the players that debuted that season, like Royce Hart and Kevin Sheedy and Francis Burke, and, it was really interesting. Also, interesting that Billy Brown had 7 free kicks in that game, but he also mentioned the tackle pressure as a small forward and the importance of that. So 50 years on, that's extremely important.
Because he had a rugby background. Yeah,
he
so
had
it
a
was
rugby
a good
background.
it
So
was a
no,
good
it was
day.
really good.
And can we talk about, I don't know, we haven't run it on the website, about the Life membership
Oh,
Yeah, well, yes. Johnny Perry received life membership there.
He didn't. He was the only member of the team that isn't a life member.
That's right, and I think it's changing, and we'll be doing a story on it. The fact that
this space.
Yeah. We'll go with that. But he got his life membership on the day, which was terrific, and he was absolutely
emotional.
He was nearly in tears. It meant so much to him, which was just fantastic. Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason how you'd go about this. Like,
No.
why have you gone back to the small post-it notes? You had those big orange ones a few weeks ago.
I just feel like it. I just, it's the way I roll, isn't it? Really? It's just the way I roll.
You're a strange human being.
A mate of mine asked me, can you tell me what you call someone who comes from Corsica?
No.
I said, of course I can.
I didn't even get that one.
Didn't you?
No.
I sat on a hairdryer the other day.
Oh, no.
Yeah, boy, did that put the wind up me. I went to the doctor's the other day.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, I went again.
What, your mince pies playing?
No, well, no. So I said, Doc, I've got a rash.
Oh,
he said, I'll be as quick as I can. What do you call?
What's wrong with you?
What do you call three members of ABBA? Right, quite timely because we had the Eurovision Song Contest during the week, and ABBA won it with Waterloo many years ago. What do you call three members of ABBA in a French slaughterhouse?
Don't know.
Abattoir.
One more.
I'm not sure if I ever told you this, but my great-grandfather...
Oh, you did?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't tell you that. No, the other one, my other great-grandfather.
Sorry, yeah.
He invented the cold air balloon. Cold air balloon.
Yeah.
But it never really took off.
And so, are you going to go with Rhett's joke from last week
What was Rhett's joke?
about the timing?
I can't remember it. You go with it.
Well, I can't remember it, but I remember standing there and Rhett had a joke
I know,
for you.
I laughed.
Sorry,
I can't
sorry,
remember it.
Rhett.
I'll go with it again next week when he reminds me.
Tweet us in the joke.
No,
Rhett.
one more quick one. I went to a cafe the other day and had a sign saying that it served
That's strange.
breakfast.
You don't normally go out, do you?
I don't. No. I don't like to. Don't like people. The sign said, which a lot of them do, that we serve breakfast at any time.
Right.
Yeah, so I ordered French toast during the Renaissance.
That was a good way to finish off. Well done. We got through it, boys. We got through it.
Yeah, no, geez, it wasn't easy.
We can
Anyway.
move on. Thanks, as always, to all our loyal listeners out there that tweet it in and they listen and they send us emails.
Johnny P and
Johnny P comes in
Scones,
live most weeks.
Great job.
Sconzy, who's about
Roland.
to retire from life.
Is he?
Yeah, Sconzy
Really?
is.
That's
yeah.
it?
Yep. So
Oh,
anyway,
no.
thanks for listening. We'll
Go
be back
Tigers.
next week after
Come on,
upsetting
Tigers.
the Giants.
Stick it up 'em.